Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit. Where last episode, with Miles Edgeworth returning to his office, he met up with Eddie Fender as the duo teamed up to search for the missing Kay, heading to the top of the big building and starting an investigation that found the amnesiac descending from a cherry tree. Talking with her and further leaps of logic have led us to find a hatch to a secret 51st floor of the building that we suspect might be where Kay fell before Emma Skye surprisingly arrived on scene, joining us as we now head inside. Question marks all the way. It's dark as a grave down here. Can't see the nose in front of my roguishly handsome face. Watch your step, Emma. Ouch! I hit my head on something. Make your way down slowly, Kay. I don't want you to slip. Could we have brought a torch? Oh, yes, Mr. Edgeworth. There's gotta be a light switch here somewhere. Ah, bingo! Ah! Flashbang. This is... So the hidden 51st floor really is being used as a storeroom of some weird stuff, to be fair. Recognizable stuff, too. We'll need to take a careful look over all these items. The Bigg Building pamphlet has been updated. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you promised me an explanation or free. I did indeed. Where do we even start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case! It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Seems you've gotten yourself into a real pickle, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. I'm not an attorney or a prosecutor anymore. Well, whatever you are, I think it's time for science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this all official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you, Miss Skye. And then there were 4. Right, everyone, let's get to work. I want to know where that elevator goes. Fair dues on that. Looks like it goes down. It's something we'll certainly want to investigate further, but we should look around up here first. Aye, aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy. I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma? Ready, willing, and able to investigate, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well. Then let's begin. Will I be using the tools of your trade is the thing that interests me the most. Ask me anything. I'm all ears. Have you noticed anything yet? Though I should really ask about you first. I can't believe they suspect poor Kay. It's outrageous. I couldn't agree more. But the best thing we can do right now is to stay calm and look for clues. Except I've been scientifically processing the situation, and I think I've come up with a better idea. Maybe we could administer some carefully targeted electric shocks directly to Kay's brain. What do you say? Might be just the thing to bring her memory back online. That sounds more than a little risky. It sounds incredibly risky, in fact. Personally, I'm still of the opinion that searching this room for clues is the better option. Really? But a little risk is what science is all about. Yes, a little being the operative phrase. I'm back for a little while to interpret for my professor, but I'm still mostly based in Europe. Gotta keep studying until I'm the finest forensic investigator under the sun. I'm very glad to hear you say that. Dedication to one's chosen field is a student's greatest responsibility. It sure is, but I don't just want to get ahead academically. I've been trying hard at sports too. Especially that one event they have at school athletics meets. You know the one. There are quite a few to choose from. It's huge over there, and unlike here, it's considered a real hardcore sport for adults. That's right, I'm talking about glasses battles. Who hasn't heard of those, right? Me. Never. Not even once. You can't just leave it there. Explain glasses battles. What do we do? Smash our heads against each other to see whose glasses break first. I wear glasses. Come on, I want to compete. I could be a competitor, me. Okay, let's examine things, including the ladder. No. Win through compromise. It's kind of creepy. All these masks lined up here in the dark. Not a fan of horror movies, I take it. No way! That stuff's so unscientific. I think you mispronounced terrifying. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Well, we got a missing mask. I can deduce something too. There's a selection of masks arranged on the rack here. There's even a still samurai. And what an impressively authentic likeness it is too. The scientist in me is sensing something strange though. A lack of consistency, you know? In the sense that the characters represented here feel a little haphazard somehow. I don't disagree. There's even an empty space here. Yeah, just an empty hook right in the middle. Is somebody using that one perhaps? Yes, I don't know. God, why are the blue badger there? These are all case files from various murders. What? But why would they be in here? They should be safely under lock and key at the courthouse or the prosecutor's office, which would suggest that somebody removed them without permission. Something very suspicious is going on here. We need to find out more. I think it's Dick Gumshoe's secret crime-fighting hideout. It's the Steel Samurai and the Nickel Samurai. The Nickel Samurai always seems kind of pleased with himself to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about being skinny and cool, you know. There's more to it than that. I'm Team Steel all the way. You've just gone up in my estimation, Emma. What? What TV show are these from? I don't know a whole lot about it, but I believe it's called The Students of Starry School. It's about an elementary school where the students are all superheroes. So their masks are modeled on sports safety helmets or something, right? And maybe the number of eye slits tells you their student ID number. So the one on the left would be number 1 and the right is number 2. I suppose that could be it, yes. And that would mean a ton of slits for the kids with the highest ID numbers. I have to admit to being a little intrigued by this show now. Just want to see the amount of slits, do you? That mask! That's Global Hero on Yankopon! And why is that so shocking? You really don't know? He's a demon. In SMT. Of course. Everything about the show is secret. When it's on TV, who makes it? So the merchandise is super rare. It sounds to me like whoever made it may have simply gone out of business. That's Captain Saipan. He's super popular overseas. Everyone loves dressing up like him. Kids, adults, you name it. I find the flower on his head a little excessive myself. She's the only heroine the Steel Samurai needs. You can say that again. I love the Pink Princess. You watch shows like that, Emma? Of course. You love them too, right? Well, I don't really know all that much about them, but sure. Really? Because I saw the Steel Samurai figure in your office, so I thought... I can't believe even Emma's seen it. It's, not exactly hidden. Just to point it out, I want to check out that 50,000 because it looks like a rack of things to sell. Good quality mask for 50,000. Case notes for 2,200? What? These are... What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? If I'm not mistaken, several of the items on display here are pieces of evidence from old cases of mine. What are they doing here? Maybe this is where the committee stores stuff is looking into. It can't be. Evidence like this is stored at the police department. They don't keep stuff at the prosecutor's office, too. When a case is ongoing, yes, but once the last trial is finished up, it's supposed to go right back to the precinct, unless there's a very good reason for it to go elsewhere. And yet, here it all is. There's no point in trying to figure out the whys right now. I should take a closer look at it all. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe? You said they were all pieces of evidence, right? Yes, but judging by how the numbers are written and by the items themselves, I guess these are prices. The evidence all has price tags attached. High price tags. But prices? I would have never guessed that. Wait, but none of this stuff could be worth that much money, could it? The prices are very high indeed. There's no wonder she's surprised. I must examine all of these in detail. They're selling like... It looks like a store for criminal memorabilia. Or more to the point, Miles Edgeworth involved criminal memorabilia. Just above the, the offices of the prosecutors. It's like... We selling this stuff to the highest bidder? Are we that poor? Is this how we pay prosecutors' wages? A mannequin. Huh. Wait, I know. All thanks to my powers of scientific deduction, of course. It's evidence from an old case of yours, right? Not this time. I've never seen it before in my life. It doesn't seem to fit with the other items in the room, either. For one thing, it doesn't have a price tag. So why is it here? I mean, you'd put, like, an outfit on top of it, wouldn't you? That's what a mannequin's for. So it's more or less, the mannequin is there as a stand for something that might have been sold. That's a cute little doll. It looks kind of like the Steel Samurai. It's actually the Iron Infant, son of the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess. He was born burdened with the knowledge that he too would one day be called upon to fight for justice. Oh no, what a burden. I can't imagine the pressure that must have put him under. More than most people could bear. Yes, he's young, but you can sense it nonetheless. A certain tragic refinement. Projecting. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth! Are you even listening to me? Of course. Ah, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. So how did he wind up here? Ah, but look, he's missing his left horn. He is, but he never had it in the first place. At least not as far as we ever saw. Defective merchandise, huh? Then we need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall. Now that I come to think of it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? A broken plushie. Assumedly broken. So this storeroom is actually more of a stockroom. It would seem so, much as it pains me to consider such a thing. What kind of person sells off evidence from serious criminal cases? And who to? Who would even want to pay for all this stuff? Somebody, clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people really will collect anything, huh? Fascinating. That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. But it still has one of those signs in front of it. Indeed, and look, there's an outline in the dust on top of the cloth. Ooh, I say something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you? You know what? I think you might be right. But, I'm drawing a blank trying to imagine what. Well, I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline. Don't we have a piece of evidence that might well be connected? We do. We can deduce that, but I think I might want to leave a little bit more for now. Or do you reckon we can get away with it and it won't just zoop us forward? Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Yes. The candelabrum is star-shaped. Eureka! The outline in the dust matches the bottom of the candelabrum exactly. I say there's a very strong chance that this is where our murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case. It certainly seems likely, but that's not our concern right now. The key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from the storeroom. So was that updated evidence? Not even that by the look of it. A safe we're not allowed to check out, nor the blue badger. A bottle of ink and a lantern. Both pieces of evidence from a previous case of mine. But why? What's all this stuff that's related to you doing here? It's not as if any of it was in my possession for any length of time. The duration of the case, and no longer. Perhaps this is all nothing but a coincidence. Seriously, a coincidence? I never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth. You must always face up to the facts of a situation, however strange they may be. Isn't that what scientists believe too? Oh ho ho! You want to talk about what scientists believe? Settle in. This may take a while. It's a small bottle, one I've seen before. Oh, that's all. Nothing else to add. Well, no. What more did you want me to say? Hold up, I've got to write this down. Mr. Edgeworth can turn even the most boring topics into something picturesque with his explanations. Ugh. Next time, try taking those kinds of notes in silence. Interestingly, this isn't priced, so is this all one price together? There seems to be this area checked out. Right. What else, then? Scientifically speaking, I say this looks like some kind of wooden icebox. I think I keep getting their voices wrong. Yeah, the chains are probably to stop the cold air from escaping. Yeah, the chains are totally to stop the cold air from escaping. I don't mean to contradict you, Emma, but isn't this just a box for storing clothes in? The wood is imbued with a natural repellent that keeps moths away. Oh, yeah, sure. Guess you could look at it that way too. And keeping your clothes chilled would be nice for the summer, right? Still not prepared to let go of that particular part of your hypothesis, I see. A bunch of trophies and... Oh, look, somebody's left a walkie-talkie here. It looks to me like it was put there deliberately. Rather like it's on display, to be honest. Hey, there are batteries in it too. It could be useful. Let's take it with us. Nobody will mind if we use it for a little while, will they? I could take it to the police station afterward. Someone's starting to sound like a certain great thief. Whoa, that's one heck of a desk. I wonder who it belonged to. There are 4 male figures acting as legs holding up the tabletop in the center. It's hideously cringy. Like Edgeworth would use the term cringy. And it doesn't even have the good decency to be camp enough to loop back around. Is this from one of your old cases too, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I can't think of anyone related to any of my investigations with such ostentatiously awful taste. At least I don't think there was. This statue. What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. Yes, well, the real question is how it got here. Because if you look to the right, this lift is smaller than this statue, if I'm right in saying. And there's not like an opening in the roof big enough to get it through there by helicopter airlift. I'm very confused of how it's been in here. Not exactly, it's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. And there were 2 of them, a real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places. An old case, huh? Guess you have worked on a bunch of different... Huh? What are you doing here? Gotcha! Caught in the act, red dang-handed. Guilty and a tomcat covered in cream. Ah! My eyes. Stop that at once. Ain't no stopping my snapping. Not till I got every dang detail and then some. You're thinking about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals. Yeah, sure. Pull the other one. It's got bells on. This here camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about to be hornswoggled by your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? Why, you're that low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't ya? Who are you calling a low-down dirty jerk? This is Lotta Hart. A photojournalist by trade. We've crossed paths on a few occasions, especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget, and even harder to get a word in edgewise with. Quit making that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I ever saw one. Seems I didn't leave the best of impressions on her either. Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful all I want from you is a couple of pictures. But we're just here to investigate. Sure you are. If by investigate you mean pull the wool over over Lotta's mile-wide eyes, sure. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought you might listen to me. It didn't hurt to try, I guess. We're probably better off leaving her alone for now. Why are you in here? Just slid down the ladder, did you? I'm still examining this, you know. You said the statue was a piece of evidence from an old case of yours, right? It's pretty weird looking, I have to say. It's known as the Alfred statue. The what? The Alfred statue. But it says here that it's called the Alif Red statue. Alif Red, Alfred, Alif Red. What are you muttering about? Oh, nothing. Let's carry on looking around, shall we? I feel like you've got something wrong, according to what's going on then. That's horrific. What is that giant head thing? It's the head of the great Mrs. Monkey. I remember the case well. But how did they even get it up here? Oh, Edgeworth is asking questions. That looks like it could fit in the elevator. You didn't ask the question about the thing that obviously couldn't. Huh, Mrs. Monkey? That doesn't sound right. Are you sure you didn't get the name wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Or misremembered it somehow? Don't be ridiculous. As if I'd ever make such a mistake. Piles of banknotes just left out for all to see. A little tasteless, wouldn't you say? No way, these are all $100 bills. It's a fortune right there. How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. I mean, the criminal life is pretty good, but selling evidence seems to be pretty good as well. And we've got a lot of people to talk to. So, what are you all doing snooping around a fishy old place like this anyhow? I think it's us who should be asking you that. Me? I'm in it for the truth, for the good of society, and for little old me, of course. I'm what you might call a photographer for the people. Snapping here, snapping there, snapping every danged where. I'll just leave you to it then. We can talk once you've gotten it out of your system later. Oh, okay. You don't want to talk right now? I can't talk with you. You're just not talkable at all. How you doing, Fender? Oh boy, it's all experience enough to boggle a guy's mind. Mysterious storerooms, damsels in distress. It's got the lot. Could you at least try to take things a little more seriously, Fender? Hey, I could try. No, but seriously, I'm as keen to help Kay out as you are. She's safe with me. You go do your thing. It's not Kay I'm worried about. It's you. Wow, this is some sturdy construction. Thick floor plate, sturdy supports. At a rough estimate, I say it could hold 50 of you easily, Mr. Edgeworth. Except for the fact that it's nowhere near big enough. You say that, but pack yourselves in tight enough and I think you might just do it. I really don't think so. I think they might spill out the sides. And anyway, we have more important things to be investigating. We can theorize about the elevator once we're done. Maybe you're right. Fine. 45, Mr. Edgeworth. 48 tops. How many Edgeworths do you reckon going? This is sold, by the way. Who's this sold to? And is it just sold for all that much money? The piles on the ground. So, in there we're probably going to put this mask, made of cheap plastic. Maybe not, but it is a mask, so I guess I can deduce this spot. Eureka! Kay was carrying a jamming ninja mask when she was found. It looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis. Which would mean that Kay was really here? As you put it, not a crazy hypothesis. But why? Did she come to steal something maybe? There's all kinds of stuff here. Because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. No, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. Alright, a little bit more information, but no actual update there. A deduction done. What else are we doing here? We can't talk to anyone, and I guess price tags with lots of money kind of makes a lot of sense to go together. We're selling stuff here, aren't we? We've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running an illicit trade in judicial goods. Judicial goods, are they? Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor? This is big. It has to be, right? I think it might be, but we'll need to investigate a little further yet. We need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. An eyewitness, huh? Technically, you're the eyewitness. Really? But that would say that you have witnessed more than you expect here? Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? Me? I told you. I'm in it for the truth, for the good of society. And for little old me, of course. I'm a photographer for the people. For the people? If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I can hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense. How did you all figure that out? I guess it means I don't have to tippy-toe around it anymore. One of my sources told me on the down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here were sold to the highest bidder? Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. I'd come see for myself, of course. Get eyes on my subject, you know. Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees or so, I thought at first. Anyhow, wasn't about to write it up based on hearsay alone. So yesterday I snuck behind this here statue and settled into wait. Bidding started late at night and carried right on through to the break of dawn. So the auction and the murder happened on the same night. Coincidence? More interesting thing about this is that only one thing seems to have a soul tag. Dirty deals and a secret storeroom. Talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Sure, there was regular old stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where, that kind of thing. In what way are shady artworks regular exactly? But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out of the cop and prosecutor's shops. And I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from up here. So we got, like, the justice room. And then above that, we've got the criminal enterprise room. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then. Well, actually, I've got that wrong, haven't I? Here's the criminal enterprise room. And the justice room was where the auction was held. Okay. It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. I guess I'm confused about the placements of everything, but that's why we get testimony, isn't it? To try and, like, narrow things down. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had voice changer doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones, dinker than the bugs behind. It's so you couldn't see their real faces, and you couldn't hear their real voices. Surreptitious is as all hex. Surreptitious. You mean surreptitious, right? Yes, I surely do. Sweet, sweet surreptitude. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. No, they really did do the stuff there. And then in came the next one. When it came time to leave, they all done the same, but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one. Mask back on the hook. Up the ladder and away. Whoa, that's a serious operation. Masks data jotted down in my organizer. And how many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. That's interesting. There's 11 masks total, and Kay has a 12th mask, of course. Participants entered the storeroom one by one from the roof. They also left one by one through the storeroom and up to the roof. So you're stakeout then? I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know? You didn't. Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, You know what? That ain't important right now. So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all of them folks come in from my spying spot there in the shadows. I see. So you were watching from behind the statue. They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took me a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up. But there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch sight of who was in charge? Alright, sure, I guess I did. Ain't half so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? You all should know I came here to get me an exclusive. And an exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see. So you don't actually know anything about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, kid or an old-timer. Nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them three things is what I remember. But what good's the description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who was wearing it? So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everybody else. Yes, sirree. Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy. Zervan. Zervan? What kind of a name is that? Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth, you've never heard of Zervan? He's global hero on Yankopon's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervan the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. So you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all? No, I dang well didn't, which kind of scotches my scoop. This whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. I should have never come. Ringleader's appearance data has been jotted down in my organizer. Wore a white jacket, white gloves, a magenta flower, and a mask. Age and gender could not be discerned. We know of somebody who is dressed like that. Maybe I should try showing that evidence to Miss Hart. Why not, I guess? This. You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they was dressed up like a peacock on parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But, wait, so the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim in the case we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady? Well, ain't that just snippier and a dang deal, throwing me off with a man's jacket like that? I hardly think she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we've discovered something vital to the case. Namely, that the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the boss, huh? Then that's what was happening. When what was happening? Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. You'll just go on about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot? I told you all this nothing. And you won't get nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more. How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing, okay? And I ain't saying nothing either way. Aw, you can tell it's just a little more. Pretty please. I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a news hound, a scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more. Heck, I done told you all too much already. Wait, what if, I examine some fingerprints for you, pro bono? What kind of a cockamamie thank you is that? I sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel, you go dig it up yourselves, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't going to talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Let's start by observing our opponent. Haha, it's mine chess time! With a lot of heart of all people. An old foe, an old friend, an old ally, an old culprit, an old one in the frame. Innocent. Not guilty. But guilty of hiding something from us now at this point in time, which we must extract. We must reveal. So tune in next time on Ace Investigations 2 Prosecutors Gambit, where we get more to the bottom of this now that we know there's a storeroom, an auction, lots of dodgy dealings going on in the Prosecutors' place of all places. We'll find out more next time. I'll see you guys then. Until then, I say, bye-bye.